Good morning, agents from across the country. Morning/afternoon, depending where you happen to be. Today is December 18th, 2014. This is our sixth and final Mastermind call for 2014, so appreciate y'all showing up. We got about a dozen people so far. We usually start off, I'm going to have my partner Chad start off by just kind of sharing what's new with the company on the tech side of it and some extra things that we've added this week and where we are at with that aspect. Chad, would you tell the group about that?
Yeah, so I'm happy to be the bearer of good news. The good news for the week is we continue to gain more and more subscribers across the country, and again, thanks to everybody that comes to these calls. I think it helps people who are on the fence or just educating themselves about probate. It kind of helps them realize what it's all about and that anyone can do it. So thanks for that. And Paul, last week, everyone saw that just by sending one letter, they can get started. So it's sometimes overwhelming for people who don't know about probate. So we've got a lot of new members from individuals to teams, cities all across the country. The other good news for the week is we are now in beta testing for our mailing services. So I know some of you have been waiting for us to automate the mail component. We do have a web form now, so probably let's just realistically say around the first of the year in January, you should be able to go directly to the members page, upload a custom template, use one of our templates, put in your name, email address, logo, and the mail merge will be done by the system. The mail will be ordered, and it should go out within 24 hours of ordering. So we're beta testing that right now. We're also very close to on the tech side of things. We're close to having kind of a done for you electronic marketing campaign. So we'll have postcards, pre-designed postcards that we can print through the same mail house, automate the mailing. Those will drive to a landing page. The landing page is linked to a drip campaign. So you'll have a 12-touch email campaign for each of these. There may be the ability to upload to send us, automate the list that you already have. If you do have email addresses for those, if you have systems like Vulcan or Leads Today where you can augment and get addresses, you can pull those into that and use those autoresponders. So we're getting close to having some of the a la carte things that we've been working on are in beta testing, and we should have those early in first quarter 2015. So that's some of the good news and what's on the horizon for next year.
And probably the only thing you didn't mention, several of you have asked me about it. Our intent, we really wanted to build a strong back end so you not only have the leads, but you know what you're doing once you get them before we started phase 2. And we're just about there. And for those of you that don't know it, our next offering is going to be divorce leads, people in your market that have filed for divorce. Huge percentage of them end up selling their home. And if they don't sell, one of them has to buy another one. Or lease another one or make some kind of a move. We're working right now on the back end of that, and before we actually start offering those leads to you, we want to have a good back end system to complement the divorce leads also. It looks like, we've been looking at the data, it looks like you're going to get about twice as many divorce leads for about the same price as you pay for probate. And I guess that tells us twice as many people get divorced every year as die. That's kind of an obvious conclusion. I guess it kind of makes sense. Got a laugh out of everybody. That's it on the tech side. Does anybody have any wins? Any new? Last week, Paul was nice enough to share the fact that he was pretty honest that he's pretty much just sent out a killer letter and has gotten half a dozen listings. And Paul, last week you were working on $1 million plus listing. Has that come in yet, or are you still working on it?
No, that's it's definitely, I'm going to get it, but they got to do an estate sale, get a bunch of stuff out of the house, and there's some updating and not necessarily updating, but repairs and painting and that sort of thing that needs to be done to the house before it's ready to go on the market. So
Okay.
I'm involved in coordinating that, helping the seller. So it's probably coming, probably listed in January.
Excellent. So that'll pay for your probate leads for about 14 years, right?
Yeah, that'll cover everything for sure. We get a paycheck on that one.
Good for you.
And out of this last list, I've scrubbed the list and sent out 128 letters. Only got about half of the letters mailed, and got a call yesterday from a man that he needs to. It's a double-wide mobile home, but he is ready to sell it, and it's in good shape, and so that's one listing coming out of the last set of leads.
Yeah, you're getting the same results as Chad. Pretty much every time you send out a group of letters, you get a couple listings, right? At least a couple.
Yeah, that's the way it's been working out.
Yeah.
Or if they're not listed, there are people that are going to list. They've just got some things they need to take care of first.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've shared with the group way back in the day when I used to prospect. It was rare that I had anybody that didn't have a dozen agents talking to them. This is kind of like shooting fish in a barrel because, Paul, how many of the people you talk to, how many have other agents that are calling them?
Very few. Maybe of the dozen or so leads that I've got out of this, and maybe 6 to 8 of them have turned into listings since like May. I would say maybe one of these people had another agent that was trying to list the property.
Mm-hmm.
I've found that more not agents. It's just someone else knows of these probate situations and are approaching these folks. I mean, I don't know where they get the information, looking it up in the paper or whatever, and they're just investors, trying to bottom feed and see if they can steal the property.
Yeah, it is typically investors that have contacted them, and the investors, this is all they do. Typically, if there is anyone, they are probably going down to the courthouse and spending, the hour or the day or two and navigating through all the data just like we do. And so for a realtor, it's just not a productive use of your time. For an investor, it does make sense if that's all that you do. And the good news is go ahead. Somebody had a comment? Go ahead, please.
This is Chad. I was just going to say I had my first listing appointment this week that I had competition on. And it's a good success story because it was a long-term family friend who just happened to have a real estate license and does 4 deals a year. And, they were going to list the house with her, but they called me first. And I went over, I met with them, walked out with a listing agreement. That was yesterday, and we'll have a cash offer by the end of business today. Because they saw more value in what we provide and helping get the home cleaned out and having a list of investors that this one we're actually going to sell to a landlord because it's a 2-bedroom on a busy street. And we identified that, I said, here's who our buyer is, here's how we'll market to them, and here's the plan to get it cleaned out, And they just said, sorry, family friend, but, we found a guy that understands our situation, and we're going to do it with him. But that was the first one out of all the listings I've taken that I had competition on, and I still beat the competition almost effortlessly just because of the system.
Good for you. You know what? I love the combination of the two of you guys. We got Paul Hayhurst in Florida, one of the most populated areas in the country. Then we got Chad in rural Virginia. I always kid Chad that there's more people that live in my street than live in his town. And it's probably only a small exaggeration, and you're both getting great results with it. So if you're anywhere in between, you should be able to do well. Guys, this is our call. We don't want to. It's your call. We don't want to turn it into a commercial for our company. Any other wins? Any thoughts? Any questions? Anywhere anybody's getting stuck? What can we help you with?
Jim, it's Paul. Go ahead, ladies first.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Hey, it's Christy Collins.
Hey, Christy.
And as you know, I'm brand new. I haven't even got my first batch of leads yet. And I just had a quick question for the folks that are seeing success with the letters. Are you guys using the letters that are on the website?
Yes.
This is I'm sorry. This
Chad,
is Paul.
Chad, Or Paul, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I've kind of worked up my own letter that I've taken some from the website and then customized it. I've sent Jim a copy of that and told Jim he's welcome to post that on your site so people can get a example of that. So I've kind of developed my own letter, with input from the letters that were provided.
The one thing that was similar, Paul, the one thing that was similar to yours is you're giving the people multiple options. And that's what we were trying to do with our first letter also. And you give them actually 4 options. Somebody told me.
We do too, Jim. What I really like about Paul's letter is he bullet points it. So it's copywriting 101. Like ours, we present the same options in the copy, but he does a better job of breaking them out. And Jim, if it's or Paul, if it's okay with you, I had my assistant type that up in Word format. We can start using it as a template if you guys would like to use that, if that's okay with Paul.
Yeah, that's fine. The letter seems to be pretty effective, so happy to share it. Hopefully it'll work for you too.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad,
that would be awesome.
It's in line to get posted on our back end of our website. Chad, maybe you can post it. Our tech guys are pretty busy right now. Maybe you can post it on the Facebook page sooner? Are you able to do that or not?
Yeah, I can actually. So I'll do that. I'll put on the All the Leads main Facebook page. We'll put all the letter templates that we have. And it's worth mentioning too, if you guys haven't joined the All the Leads Mastermind Facebook group, it's a closed group where we can continue this 7 days a week instead of just on Thursdays. So anytime you have a question, Jim and I will kind of moderate that so we can get an answer to you. So if you haven't found that already, we'll send you a link to that one. But the All the Leads is a Facebook fan page that's open. You can just search that and find it, and I'll put those there.
Actually, if you want to join that and you're not a member of it, email me, jim@alltheleads.com, and I'll reply with the link. So we know you're part of the group and you're invited to join it.
Good, thanks.
Certainly.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Good question. What other questions from the group?
Jim?
Do you send more than one letter out to the same person?
Betty. Good question. I'll let my partner. My partner has a 42-step campaign. I'm just kidding. How many steps? Chad is one of the reasons he gets such good results. Tell him how many you send, Chad. And some people like Paul send one and get 6 listings, and Chad sends multiple letters. But I'll let Chad answer that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the initial campaign that I laid out for myself it's 27 touches over 90 days. And I've learned to preface this because some people get overwhelmed. So at a minimum, what we think you should do is 3 letters with 30-day spacing. So we send the letter the day as soon as we get our list, as quick as we can get it out the door, we send letter 1. On the day that letter 1 hits, we either place a phone call or we place a ringless voicemail. And then on there's an email sequence if you have a way to get email addresses that triggers it on that week as well. And then on day 31, then there's another letter and another phone call and more email. The email's still running. And then so we do 3 letters over with 30-day spacing. And then we try to have the phone ring the day the letter shows up. And that conversation starts something like, hey, this is Chad. I sent you a letter. Just wanted to make sure you got that. And then listen and see where the conversation needs to go from there. And that's worked really well for us. However, Paul has been super successful with this, and he's sending 1 letter. So you have more chances of success if you put more mail out there, but don't think that you can't get results if you just do 1 letter. Some people, what I find is I have people responding from letter 2 and letter 3 2 and 3 months ago, but they're now responding. It took them a while to grieve, or it took them a while to fight with their brother and sister and to buy one of the heirs out, and now they're finally ready to list. So we find results on letter 1, 2, and 3 is what I find. So if you are on a budget crunch or a time crunch, at least send one letter and make one phone call. But ideally, I would say at a minimum, if you have the budget, I would do a 3-letter campaign and try to be on the phone with them the day the letter shows up.
Do you leave a message on the telephone if they don't answer?
Actually, the way I do it, because I'm a lazy agent, I use a ringless voicemail. So I can place 200 phone calls in about 35 seconds, and the phone doesn't ring; it just goes straight to voicemail. So the perception is that I called, and that's worked really well for me. So.
By the way, that's on the back end of our site. And there's a suggested script, and there's a link. If you use that link, they give you like 25 free contacts, for using our link. But it's called Call Loop. Boy, Betty, I think back to the day when I used to call. Betty and I are old-time prospectors. I used to make 100 contacts a day, every day, and I'd call all of my sphere, all my past clients every month. Man, today I would just record a message. Hey, it's Jim. Just checking to see who do you know, and push send. And they charge 5 cents a piece to send out the messages.
Oh, wow.
Ridiculously efficient.
Is that automated so we can find out all that on the website? Okay.
It's all there on the back end of the website. If you haven't
Can we use it for other things besides the probate leads?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I would use it for, if I was an agent, I would use it for sphere of influence and past client.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Betty, just making my monthly call. Who do you know looking to sell real estate? Looking to buy or sell real estate? Give me a call. Boom, and it's done. What used to take you hours or days, you can get done in 30 seconds.
I know. I thought fly dial I was doing was advanced, but
well,
fly dial landlines
so
too?
That
Say again?
Fly dial. Worth mentioning, if you know how to use fly dial, they now have a broadcast service, so it's the exact same technology, but you can use it for an unlimited number of recipients. So it's a ringless voicemail, just like fly dial. Where Call Loop is a recorded message that a lot of times ends up in voicemail.
Does it work on landlines or just cell phones?
Actually, it does. I don't understand how it works, but I think most landline voicemail is now server-based, not an actual answering machine.
Right.
But it does. And when I send a campaign, and these are numbers that we've gotten through augmented data, so they're not all correct anyways. But we usually have about anywhere between an 80 and an 85% deliverability rate when I look at the reporting.
That's why we strongly recommend you send everybody a letter, because no matter how good of a prospector you are, you're not going to reach everybody. And the 1-2 effect of the letter and the call is really good.
Hey, Jim, This is Paul. I had my ISA try our first 200, and our contact rate was about 5 to 10%. And then we went and had Vulcan pull up numbers for us, cell numbers. And it didn't improve that greatly. I was wondering if anybody else is kind of keeping track of their contact rate they're calling. Anybody?
I mean, I can guess at mine. With 128 leads, probably about the same you had.
5 to 10%?
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting... What's that, Jim?
5 to 10% are good?
Yeah,
no,
good.
That's
or they
talk
answer.
tos.
Oh, you mean as far as answering, but they're...
Yeah,
they
talk
actually have a conversation with.
Oh, okay, yeah, because a lot more of them are good phone numbers. But they're...
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, good.
It's an interesting time.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time because, Jim, I've been on the phones for 28 years, 3 hours a day, maybe more sometimes, and people don't want to talk anymore, so it's all about trying to find a way to reach them.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening.
Yep. Great point.
What about emails? Does anybody have any successful emails, or is that something we're working on, Jim? Is that what you said up front in the call?
Boy, was that well set up. Chad has an announcement about emails. That was the next thing we were going to talk about. That couldn't have gone any better. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, so part of our bigger vision has always been to, provide tools to, for a full marketing suite. We're beta testing right now a landing page and an email service where you can upload your list, your previous list, and then any of your new campaigns can be pointed toward a landing page to build out, emails. The delivery on that's going to be sometime in the first quarter. The pricing will, and don't hold me to this, it's probably going to be somewhere around $99 to get set up and $29 a month. And that will come with, pre-printed template postcards that you can, customize, or not pre-printed, but templates, postcards that you can customize to your market, to your branding, that will drive people to your landing page. I don't know exactly what the back end looks like for how, say if you've got an email list of, 300 probates from your old list. I don't quite know how we're going to get that in yet, but we'll figure, it's just a minor detail. But we are moving in that direction. Right now we don't have any results on, as far as, I can't really quantify what the email results have been, but we're moving in that direction.
Now, do they automatically come on Vulcan, the email addresses? I haven't gotten any so far, like on my first group.
No, we're not. That's what we say. We're not yet providing email addresses.
Oh, okay.
That's
I just
we're
thought
moving.
Maybe Vulcan
that's
automatically do it.
No, well, and again, Ren's a good friend of mine. If they can supplement our data with email, do they do that for you in their other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on my expires, I get
right.
probably a third of the email addresses.
Probably a conversation I need to have with Ren then. Thank you. I will do that.
Yeah, it should be. He should be augmenting, and then I don't know if there's anybody on the call with Leads Today, but Leads Today also does the same thing. So you can get your leads directly into the Leads Today platform and augment for email addresses, phone numbers, social media, and everything else that it brings in. And then you can build your own campaigns, or you could export that list into our existing kind of compartmentalized system. So I think that in first quarter we're definitely going to have more marketing options, and be able to kind of use the whole campaign outline that we kind of laid out.
What other questions, guys? Good call. Good participation. We appreciate it. Anything else? Any place?
I was wondering, this is Paul, I was wondering if you have any examples of the follow-up letters that I could look at.
You mean letter number 2 and 3?
Yeah, letter number 2 and 3. I'd just like to see some examples of those, if there's a way to get something like that.
I'm going to post a link on the Facebook page as soon as we get off the call. I'll have everything that we've done to date up there. So
and then we can just tell our tech guys to go to Facebook and put it on the website. Chad moves a little quicker than they got a lot on their plate right now, but that'd be great. Yeah, we'll get that posted on Facebook. Again, if any of you want the link to Facebook, just email me, jim@alltheleads.com, and I'll reply with the link to get you in there. Great call, guys. We try to keep it at 30 minutes. We got about 5 minutes left. Anybody have any?
I have a funny story. It's Betty.
Please.
I called this person, and the husband said, "Oh yeah, my wife wants to sell a house. Give me your number, and I'll have her call you." And so this other lady called me back. That was her sister, and there was nobody that had passed away in the family, but she has an island. That is that I might get the listing on. I mean, I'm telling you, this is like a little island on deep water that's probably like a $3 million property.
In fact, it was from a wrong phone number, basically.
Isn't that funny? I still don't understand how I got it, because it's
funny you
something to do with.
Yeah, it's mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that. I would say a third of my return calls when I do the automated prospecting is, did I inherit something? What do I don't know? What did I get? Really? Do I get something? And so I cross-check and say no, but I always have that conversation with them. Well, as long as I got you on the phone, do you have anything else? Anything else you're looking to buy or sell? Hey, no such thing as a bad conversation. You never know where it's going to go. That's great. So an accidental $3 million listing. Good for you.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, good luck with it. That would be your success story for next week.
Yep.
All right, guys. Anything else? Any other questions, issues, anything we can help you with? Great call. There was about 15 of us, but really, really good content this week. We are not going to do another call till January 8th, which is the first Thursday of 2015. And guys, have a great holiday. We really appreciate you being kind of charter members of our service, and this is going to be a really fun 2015. We're going to make sure that you get even more results than you got this year. We're going to keep adding to what we offer. Between now and January 8th, as always, if you need anything, email Chad or I, jim@alltheleads.com, or call me at the office, 954-584-0000. Any of you that have tried to call me know I'm always on the phone, so I'll practically never answer, but I will always call you right back. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you very much
Thank you all.
for being part of it.
Merry Christmas.
Talk to you in January. You too. Thanks.